Yeah, this camera, this camera.
Listen, I'm running around.
एकता जी वेट वीडियो विजुअल
wait.
विजुअल हसन भाई कैमरा मत आगे लेके जाओ
This corner. Yeah, this corner.
Is there any clue for the books to come here?
Yes, I will say, Jayan, can we have the books for the launch? There'll be Jayan Ajay first, then I'll call Asha, question, then I'll call Kabir, question, then I'll call Ekta, question, and now are we ready? It, and I can safely say I haven't been paid to say it, right? Ajay Mago from Home Books. I was fully hooked. It was unput-downable. And as soon as I finished reading the book, I told Jaya, I'm going to put down what I'm thinking right now because I may not feel the same a little later. And I'd really like to read out what my first thoughts after reading the book are. My husband's told me I quote myself is the wrong way to go, but I'm quoting myself. Okay. So here's what I wrote. The words reach out from the pages to softly envelop you and soothing embrace, gently coax you into the tale they're telling you. And you step along, willing, even eager. Soon you realize the silken bonds have turned into steel wires that hold you prisoner, unable, even reluctant to escape. And when at last you manage, or more likely are rudely shaken into the real world outside it, you're startled. You blink uncertainly, like a man or a woman locked inside a dark room might when he opens the door to sunlight. And for a few lovely dazed moments, you're lost in that delightful twilight zone between the story and real life. And then, with a shake of your head to clear your thoughts, you return to the world. And that's when you know you've been reading Karma. This is a book that is going to, thank you. There's a writer in all of us yet. This is a book you will start, you're privy to have it tonight, start reading it tonight. And before I go any further and introduce you to the lovely author of the book, I think it's time to call on stage the man of the moment, the publisher of Home Books International.
Thank you, Minnie. Thank you all for getting this evening off to such a great start. I see many friends in front, and hopefully, by the end of the evening, I shall have added many more to my list. So it is safest to start with good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all here. I'm delighted to welcome our guest of honor this evening, Arshad Warsi, Ekta Kapoor, and Kabir Khan, each an inspiration in the field. Now for a confession, I never thought for the life of me that I would get to publish this fictionalized biography of the great Vatsayan. He and the Kama Sutra have been such an inspiration to all of us at some stage of our lives. Am I right? So I am putting down Kama coming to me as part of my great karma. It all started a few years back at Maria's and Usher's place at an unearthly hour while a small crowd at the dinner table was packing in food and, of course, the drinks that come with the turf. Maria introduced a friend to me with, "Hey, meet my publisher Ajay Mago." And then she says, "Hey, this is my friend Jia Misra. She's writing something on the chap who put together the Kama Sutra." And I recall the first mention of the book by Maria in Bhutan. That was the time we met. Immediately my interest shifted from the food and beverage, and Jia and I got talking. Such was Jia's confidence in her writing that when I asked her to send me something or read something out to me immediately, she gaped at me and said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Of course, I'm dead serious." The idea was brilliant. The person to come up with it had to have an outstanding imagination. So Jaya fumbled through her phone and held us in thrall for the next 30 minutes, reading out bits and pieces. Maria, I cannot thank you enough for stretching your dinners into breakfast, because some of the finest connects between authors and publishers happen at those auspicious hours in between. Jaya, many here today. My editors wouldn't want to get on with another project because of the erotic bits in the book. They were not doing anything else but this book. The designer wouldn't let go of the cover because of Harshvardhan Kadam's fabulous interpretation of the mood of Kama Sutra. Fortunately, the formatting person decided not to read, or else the book will never go for press. So, ladies and gentlemen, the book is finally here. Thank you, Jia, for telling all of us how erotic writers are compiled. Thank you, Minnie, for carrying forward the evening in your style. Where else but in Jalwa should this book would have been launched? Priyank Sukhija, you and your team are just such welcoming and warm hosts. So dear friends, it's Kama at Jalwa. Go for it and enjoy yourself. And back to Minnie. Thank you.
Woohoo! It's so nice. I mean, anything that I say will go run into a big resume. So let's just put our hands together and welcome our very dear friend, the author of Kama, Jaya Mishra. Woo! I think we'll just start, Jaya, by asking you, everyone said a lot about the book, but I just want to know, it's 2018. As a modern fiction writer, how did you end up choosing Vatsyayan's life to write about? I mean, there was this whole world stretching out, but you chose to set your book in 274 AD about the life of Vatsyayan. How did this happen?
So, just imagine, man, like 7 erotic texts, compiles them into one incredible book, Kama Sutra, and which is now in 2018 one of the most Googled words. Kama Sutra is the most Googled word, and yet nobody knows anything about Vatsyayan. There's very, very little known about him historically, and that just left the canvas so open for a writer like me to imagine who was this man, what motivated him to write this book. So I guess I was just consumed by my research on Vatsyayan, and it just sort of like flew out.
Okay, so your backdrop is obviously full of history. You have a very real backdrop, but there are also references to Indian mythology and figures from there. But all the characters in your book, are they entirely fictional? I mean, have they all been born out of your own imagery?
All the characters are fictional. The entire book is fictional. In fact, a lot of my friends who've been early readers, especially Maria, who's like beaten me up because she heard the first 3 chapters and then I didn't know what else I'm writing. Destiny, sort of like most men, is propelled by the women he loves and leads. And you know, about the so what I wanted to do was, I thought depravity and sensuality are like 2 sides of the coin called sex, right? So I thought why there are characters who sort of flow down, like the king, who's a very bestial man, and there is his brother, who's this kinky.
I love that track. It's my favorite. I love it. Okay, it's like I want to read it again actually. No, so let me just cut you right there. Now, the 2 principal female characters in the book, who are Nayanthara and Ratnavati, both of them are feminists, okay? And I do know that you've been greatly influenced by Anna Nin and Virginia Woolf. But I want to know, did you think that feminism existed in that time, 273 AD? Did you really think so?
See, they're all powerful women, but they're very flawed, like all of us.
Talk about yourself,
Okay.
buddy.
So, but they do what they think is right. And I think that is one of the strong principles of feminism, that you actually be who you are and do what you think is right. So, you know, I just thought that I should refuse to acknowledge that a woman could orgasm. And I've written in the book that what could not be ejaculated did not exist. And here was this man who had his pulse on female desire. So according to me, Vatsayan is the first feminist of India. You know, it just matched so beautifully.
It's an amazing sort of inference, and that's what you've given him. And I'm sure Vatsayan, wherever he is like thrilled right now. Okay, because he's been given a purpose.
See, Kama Sutra, if you see it on the offset, it's like a manual for the man about town. This debonair, hedonist. It's for the males. But if you actually go deeper, it's about how to move and please your partner. So
I hope all the men in this audience are listening. I'm sure they'll all grab a copy and read it tonight. But I'm just saying, her book has so much wonderfully imagined erotica. There's stuff that I never thought was possible. Was there a lot of research that went to that part? Okay, I shouldn't be asking you this, but...
okay, so you know, like I've read a lot of Anai Nin in my 20s, and she's such an explosive writer that her words, even if she's writing one random scene about a car driving down the mountain way, it just sort of explodes all your five senses. Vatsayan did write about sex. I'm sure he got a lot of it to write about it. I'm just a very imaginative writer, is all I can say.
All right, I like that one. Okay. No, but for the rest, I think we'll have to, leave it to them. But I just want to end on one note that though we've talked about the female characters and feminism being the core thought of your book, I just think you also give your male characters a lot of strength and a lot of power. And you don't, because your writing is feminist, you haven't really underplayed any of those, right?
I mean, I wrote like a man. It's about Vatsayan's life. So I guess, we all have a man and a woman inside us. I just found a yin and yang in this book.
And they have connected beautifully. So Jaya, I thank you for this small chat, and I'm sure if we give them any more, they would want to read it themselves. So I think
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Jaya Mishra. Okay, so now we will be determined to keep the ceremony pretty short and sweet, but now I'd like to invite some of the people who I call friends of Kama to narrate their favorite passages and of course tell us what they loved about Jaya's book. And first up, ladies and gentlemen, somebody I love, super talented chef, author of an award-winning book, also incidentally by Om Books International. Here's the plug. An ex-MTV VJ. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the gorgeous Maria Goretti.
So I can talk a lot about Jaya because also basically both of us do talk a lot. I'm trying to search for the passage that I love. So Jaya started writing this a few years ago. To me, Jaya is the mistress of words. Okay? And she knows how to string them along and tag them along so lackadaisically that she just spins magic. And that's exactly what I thought of Kama. I don't want to cry because that's what we do when we talk about Kama a lot. So I'll just read my favorite passage from this book. To me, yes, Kama is about sex, but it's about love. And it just pours out of these pages. Ouch. Okay. They had reached the room's doorway, and he suddenly stopped in his path. She was compelled to stop too. He looked at her. She was forced to look at him. His eyes were large, orange-brown, and mysterious. He said, "Silence, O Queen. Just stop talking. It's not against nature to sometimes not use any words." Leaving her at the doorway, that's all he said. And then he walked inside. As strange as it sounds, that is all he said. But within that sentence, he had sung his journey to her. How he had known her in his past lives and how he had arrived to her. He had apologized to her for all her trials and tribulations in that one sentence. He had opened all the pages of association they had before they had even met. He had said it all later in life, he would regret all the things he had not said to her, not realizing that he had actually said it all in that one moment. But at that point in time, he was irritable at the task and wary of her. She was not to be desired. So, he did not let an iota of lust rise in his chest when he briefly saw her beautiful face. But Ratnavati was joyous because he had finally arrived. She had recognized him immediately. He was Shiva who had come back to resurrect her and then to destroy her. He was a Vishnu who held the cosmos in his navel and her world in the flick of his fingertips. He was Kanha, her lover, her family, her own, who had come back to love her in this life and then leave, just like he had in his previous lives. She loved him. In the blink of an eye, she knew she loved him. Against her good sense, against the tidal waves rising within her soul, against the warnings of her ancestor, the moon, against the knocking of her heart and the fear it may be ripped from her forever, she knew. This knowledge gave her peace. It was as though she were finally home. This is Karma. Thank you, Jaya.
Jaya, did you think she was just about to cry? And I love how she makes everything like really international, like Ratnavati. It's not Ratnavati. I like it. I like that. Okay. All right. Another friend of Kama coming right up, ladies and gentlemen. She is the princess of saying it like it is and the queen of do your own thing. An actress we love. Please put your hands together for our very dear Sandhya Mridul. Sensuality.
Maria, yes, please. Trust me to spill it first. Jay. Jay will get that. I'm looking for the page because I have no idea why I am nervous. I have been nervous for Jaya for a very long time because I understood her many years ago. And I saw a wild soul inside this gorgeous green-eyed woman, extremely efficient at everything that she did. But all I wanted to see her do was bring out the wild side and just screw that efficiency. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that, Mridula auntie and Leela auntie, I'm very sorry, and Didi. But I've already been accused of saying it like it is, so I may as well ride that wave. I'm very glad that, and there's nothing fictional about Jaya, let me just tell you that. She's as real as it gets, she's as brutal as it gets, and she's as passionate as it gets, and I'm going to read you something that gives me goose flesh how many ever times I read it. So I hope I do it justice, Jay. I carry like a shroud the blanket of stars, all tattered and torn. I carry within me carcasses of a billion dreams. I'm the dream sucker. I sucked away all his dreams. I think I killed him. You see? Like the river, I'm everything and yet I'm nothing. In this life, I'm neither your mother nor your wife, nor am I your lover nor your whore. But it is possible that in previous lives, I was all of them. In this life, I might be the one whose breast you suckle when you come back weary from your inner wars. But the irony is that mine is the very breast you want to run away from. I can also dress in red silk with jasmine and vermilion in my hair. But it is my scent that will choke you. Like someone in love, I can bathe your feet and soothe your woes. But I also know that I am the endless lament, the peeved screech. I can be the one who sings you songs of love in the monsoon when the river is flushed and overflowing as we sit on the terrace. But I will also be that trickle of despair on a barren hillside. You see, Vatsayan, the possibilities of being me, the possibilities within me are endless. But it is not easy being me. She spat out each word. Through her impassioned speech, she laid bare her soul within minutes. Thank you.
That is one of my favorite pieces from the book as well. The character Nayanthara. And Sandy, you really, really, really killed it. So ladies and gentlemen, our last reading. Apparently Jafar has left Aladdin today to read Kama, right? So here's a guy who teaches us everything we don't know about life, theater, arts, the spoken word, technology, events, and generally how to be a boss. Please put your hands together for the wonderfully talented Roshan Abbas.
I know Jaya since she was in college doing theatre with us. And she was the real drama queen. She used to walk into all the rehearsals and, you know, perform the roles fabulously. And I always felt that she was full of drama. I realized that that is life. That is Jaya. Jaya is, you know, the perfect answer to the censor certificate. You can't censor her at all. There's no way. You can't censor Jaya. And that is why Jaya has written a book called Kama. It's genuinely that. When Jaya gossips, her eyes sparkle. When she writes, they sparkle. And that's why it's got everything. It's got every element of that. So when I read this book when I was rehearsing for Aladdin, sitting at NCPA, she sent me the same copy that Maria had taken, and Maria had underlined bits. Such as Maria Goretti. So I said, I'm not going to read those bits because those are Maria's bits. They're all heartfelt. I thought some of them might be about cooking, but they were not. But when I genuinely went through it, I reached rehearsal at 10:30, and at lunchtime I was telling everybody else, have you read this book? Have you read this book? It hadn't even been published. I have already bought copies because if I go tomorrow to our play without those copies, I will not be allowed in because I've already sold the book to so many people. I finished the book in 7 hours because 2 hours was spent in rehearsal. Honestly. So she said, I told somebody you finished it in 7 hours. I said, no, actually I finished it in 5. And I read it at one go. Sweeping, epic in every way possible, and I picked up a passage that I loved because the minute I saw it, I said, anybody जो दिल में ना वो फिल्म वाला बॉम्बे आके ना हर आदमी के अंदर फिल्म बनाने का चाह होती है, ये passage पढ़ते ही screen play नजर आता है. So I saw this passage and I said, this is the passage I'm going to read. Also, I love Rabana as a character, which is the eunuch mother of Vatsayan. She looked hard at him and then with a small wave of a hand dismissed him and Ramana. Vatsayan stared at her. A knife twisting in his heart, he wondered what kind of woman she was. In that moment, something flipped and Vatsayan felt hot rage. He left the room. As he slowly walked down the secret passage, his mother followed him. His knees were weak and he felt like he might faint. His heart was beating fast and he stood balancing himself. They were in the corridor that ran behind the palace, a rough-hewn secret passage lit with candles. He felt Ramana's hand on his shoulder. She spoke gently as though she was putting him to sleep. My son, how does it feel? Did you not realize it was all a setup? Shocked, Vatsayan turned at his mother. The one who had raised him transformed herself to her worst form. She clapped on his face and laughed like a banshee, her harsh voice echoing down the corridor. She said, "Oh, you moron! The Queen Mother and I had planned this just so that we could save her from killing herself. And once her mental equilibrium had returned, she became who she always was, a cold-hearted princess. She used you. The Queen Mother used you, and Vatsa, even I used you." Vatsayan stumbled back. His breath was short and he felt choked in the airless corridor. It felt as though Ramana was repeatedly stabbing him. She screamed. I have spent years establishing my position. I refuse to let it all fall apart because you could not keep your lust in check. By Kali's tongue, we eunuchs are far better than you men. At least we don't have appendages controlling our brains for us. By that one sentence, she pushed away the man she had called her son, drawing a boundary between them. It was no longer us against them. It was your kind against my kind. Hearing her speak drained Vatsayan of every emotion. Finally, she said, Vatsayan, you are free to go wherever you want. I am done playing mother. Her face was cold, her eyes were dead. He stared at her face, searching for his beloved mother. Vatsayan couldn't understand why she would mutilate his heart that she had taken such good care of throughout her life. Ramana stared back and said, yes, it has taken me years to realize that I should have left you in that garbage bin. My life was ruined because I let the milk of human kindness color my judgment. Our paths are now in different directions. Leave this city and never come back. As soon as she said this, Vatsayan hugged her tightly and said, Mother, this is a nightmare. I know all will be well tomorrow. She has betrayed me. Perish the moon princess. But you, my own, my soul, my guru, you are just angry. Come, let us go away, Mother, far away from here. Chacha is also waiting for us. Let us leave right away and put this behind us. His voice came out in racking sobs. Ramana towered over him as he tried to cling to her. She pushed him away and spat in his face. Numb Vatsayan felt the spit trickle down his face, and Ramana aggressively pushed him further away. Down the corridor, kicking, punching, rolling him down, she screamed, you are not mine. You never were, and you never will be. I am nobody's mother. I am a eunuch. I belong to my God and my sect. Now get out of here before the queen has you hanged. Thank you.
Roshan, thanks, huh? Just thanks. Make all of us look like shit all the time. Thanks. He gets a role in the film. So now whoever's making the series or the film, Roshan is Ramana. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the moment where we will now officially launch Kama. I'd like to request Jaya and Ajay to come right here. Please, a very big warm round of applause. As you all know, we have been graced by three really wonderful guests tonight, all of whom really, who Jaya loves. And I'm going to call one of them here right now. He is the actor that the country loves unconditionally, and he is also the biggest sponsor of Jaya's Spirits. Okay. He is undoubtedly a closet feminist himself, because he has given into all our midnight ramblings. Please put your hands together for the one and only Arshad Bharti. Arshad, look. So, I just have a very one-line simple question. You've known Jaya for a very long time. Did you think she had karma in her?
You know, the thing is, when I met Jaya, this is long time back, when Maria and Jaya were doing this cricket thing in Africa, which both of them didn't know anything about cricket. I realized they're really good compliment. All right. So the fact is, I don't know how to explain it, but some people, when you see them, there is some kind of glow. And you know that they will do something in life. They are meant for something else. And that's what Jaya was doing. When I saw, I said, ye jo kar rahi hai is waqt, ye time pass hai. Sooner or later, she'll be heading some big TV channel or running something, I knew that's going to happen. What I feel, karma is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of Jaya Mishra. And if you read the book, and if you read between the lines, it's actually Jaya. Brutally honest, very sorted, very intelligent, very smart. Check बाद में दे देना. देखो झूठ जब तक बोल सकता हूँ बस हो गया.
Control yourself.
Control yourself. No, but really, and of course, Jaya sent me her first few when she wrote. She said, "Arshad, ये जरा पढ़ो और अपने ख्यालात मुझे जरा बयां करना." तो मेरे ख्यालात काफी बौखला गए थे. मैंने कहा ये तो मेरे घर पे आके चाय पिया करती थी. ये क्या लिखती है? But you know, see, that's what it is about Jaya. You have all of us, I mean, I would say the whole country, think something, they say something, they do something. Jaya is feisty enough to do exactly what she thinks. And very few are like that. Yes, please, thank you very much. तो सारे पैसे कमा रहा है उसके ऊपर.
All right. Okay. और बोलना है?
By the book, by the book. जब भी मांगो के पास माइक आएगा बोलेगा by the book, by the book.
All right. We have more guests to call. Ladies and gentlemen, calling on now the director of many blockbuster films. The man who has a huge talent. The man who has the talent to make many good stories work, and most importantly, he is famously known as the husband of a very good-looking woman. Please welcome Kabir Khan.
ये बेइज्जत करने के लिए बुलाया हम लोग को, पता ना.
All right. So Kabir, I know that you have read Kama, and though we've spoken a lot about about Jaya and about her potential, I wanted to know, you've read Kama. Do you see the potential of a humongous screenplay that you can be adapted to a series? I mean, the storytelling that's involved.
Roshan just gave an audition.
We kept that in the files. We did.
No, but honestly, when I was shooting a film in Manali when Jaya joined us over there, and I don't know what she was researching in the jungles of Manali, but she ended up writing a lot next to that river, that beautiful setting. And I used to actually discuss and read passages as she was writing them, because she used to get up early and start writing. That's around the time when we used to go to sleep because we were shooting with Salman Khan. She was there for a long time, and we had a very interesting discussions. In fact, even with Salman, we used to sit and discuss, and she used to narrate all these scenes. And when I finally read it on paper, was also, like Roshan just said, that it actually looks like a screenplay. I think it's because of Jaya's screenwriting background that it was, when I was reading it, every book in a certain way makes you, imagine and visualize scenes, and you get visuals in your mind, and everyone gets different visuals for themselves. But with this book, I could literally see close up, shift focus, dolly, track. It's so vivid, it's so written for the screen, and I do hope, and it's something I've already started talking to Jaya about, I really do hope that gets made into a big international series one day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Kabir. We have one more very special guest, somebody who I know Jaya really admires, and we all do. She's the producer who's really changed the narrative for the Indian woman forever, somebody who takes risks and backs talent. She's been called the Zarina, but I would say no, she's the Tsar of talent. TV, please put your hands together for Ekta Kapoor. Ekta, thank you for being here.
I'll say Jaya has some great wingmen, man. Her friends are like, they're all there. Somebody's anchoring, somebody's speaking passages. Mine will be near the bar. I'll find them later. Oh, you guys finished? Huh?
Yes, Kate.
I really don't have any. I haven't yet read the book. I just met Jaya a few months ago. She's writing for me. She put a great book for me called Kehne Ko Hum Safar Hai, which did very, very well. And we actually broke quite a few records. what I have to say about her, even though I've not read much about her book, is that she has definitely she can make you scared, or she has a compelling power. As we all know, I have a friend whose Mehndi is there today, and I couldn't attend it because and then I said I can't even come here because I have a meeting. But Jaya's beautiful face is good enough to get you here. So this is to you, Jaya, and I must say, you've written the book the way the passages are. I think it's a bestseller, ready to be adapted, and you guys are like going to be and you will be in a different space after this book is made into a more European.
Can we have the books, please? I think this is a good time. Jaya, I think she says you have really good wingmen, but I think in summary, I think no one here is doing anything that you wouldn't do for them. So that's that, and that says a lot. Can we have the books, please? Oh, this is so exciting. This is happening. Bring them in.
इंटरनेशनल वेब सीरीज़ है इंडिया से। बहुत ही बड़े स्केल पे हमने शूट किया है। पिछले 4-5 महीने से उसकी शूटिंग चल रही है। अब आखिरी 4-5 दिन बचे हैं जो हम सिंगापुर में शूट करने वाले हैं। उससे पहले 2 महीने हम थाईलैंड में शूट कर रहे थे। तो आप सही कहा, वेब सीरीज़ एक बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग स्पेस है, एक नया स्पेस है, एक ऑल्टरनेटिव स्पेस है जिसमें कुछ कहानियाँ बता सकते हैं हम, जो हो सकता है हम फिल्मों में नहीं बता सकते। आई एम हैप्पी, आई एम डूइंग वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट बिग वंस और इट्स बीन अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोसेस। बस ये वेब सीरीज़ मेरी जिसका वर्किंग टाइटल द फॉरगॉटन आर्मी है वो अब ख़त्म हो रही है और एंड ऑफ द ईयर में अपनी 1983 वर्ल्ड कप पे जो फिल्म है रणवीर के साथ वो शुरू करने वाला हूँ। कामा एक फिक्शनल किताब है, लेकिन ये कहानी है जो कामा सूत्रा के जो राइटर हैं, कामा सूत्रा जिन्होंने लिखी, उनके बारे में कि उनकी ज़िंदगी में क्या क्या ऐसा हुआ जिसकी वजह से उन्होंने कामा सूत्रा जैसी किताब लिखी। तो इसका जो बैकग्राउंड है वो रियल है, थोड़ा सा हाफ हिस्ट्री, हाफ माइथोलॉजी एंड हाफ फिक्शन। तो इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मिक्स of all different kind of genres and उनकी पर्सनल जर्नी के थ्रू हमें कामा सूत्रा के बारे में पता चलता है। जी मैं एक्चुअली हर किस्म की किताब पसंद करता हूँ। मेरे को ज़्यादातर नॉन फिक्शन पढ़ने में मज़ा आता है। होता ही है कि जब भी मैं कोई फिल्म कर रहा होता हूँ उसके बारे में मैं जितनी भी किताबें उस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में होती हैं मैं पढ़ने लगता हूँ। जैसे आजकल मैं क्रिकेट के बारे में बहुत पढ़ रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं 1983 वर्ल्ड कप पे फिल्म बना रहा हूँ, तो हर वो किताब जो 83 के बारे में लिखी गई है या वर्ल्ड कप के बारे में लिखी गई है मैं उसको सोर्स कर रहा हूँ, उसके बारे में पढ़ रहा हूँ। उससे होता क्या है कि जिस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में आप फिल्म बना रहे हैं उसकी दुनिया समझने में आपको आसानी हो जाती है, उसके जो प्लेयर्स हैं, जो हिस्ट्री है, एंड इट जस्ट हेल्प्स यू राइट अ बेटर स्क्रिप्ट। थैंक यू। मैं अभी तक तो नहीं विजुलाइज कर चुका हूँ कि कौन वात्स्यायन हो सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप किताब पढ़ेंगी तो उसमें बहुत एक स्कोप है परफॉर्मेंस के लिए इन वात्स्यायन्स कैरेक्टर, एंड इनफैक्ट बहुत सारे सेवरल कैरेक्टर्स हैं, जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं जिन्होंने उनको शेप किया, तो आई थिंक इट कैन मेक अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग सीरीज।
इवेंट के बारे में क्या बताऊँ, आपने खुद देख लिया कि कितना एक्साइटिंग, कितना इंटरेस्टिंग इवेंट था। ऐसे जब भी यहाँ पे दो दोस्त हैं हमारे, मतलब दोस्त तो सभी हैं, लेकिन अजय जो है ओम के ओनर, वो हमेशा इंटरेस्टिंग बुक्स ही पब्लिश करते हैं। और जया मिश्रा के बारे में क्या कहूँ, शी इज़ रिटन सम ऑफ द मोस्ट लेजेंडरी स्टफ ऑन टेलीविजन एंड सिनेमा, एंड नाउ दिस बुक कामा। You know, there's something I'd like to say about Jaya is I've never worked with her, लेकिन she's just written a show for my brother which has created records on web. कहने को हम सफ़र है। और कामा के बारे में मैंने पढ़ी नहीं है किताब, लेकिन मैंने 2 एक्सर्प्ट्स पढ़े थे, और मुझे लगता है कि जैसा वो सोचती हैं, जैसा वो मानती हैं, उन्होंने ठीक उसी तरह से एक किताब लिखी है। आई थिंक इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ ब्लॉकबस्टर। मैंने अभी एक विक्रम भट्ट के साथ वीवी फिल्म्स के लिए वेब सीरीज़ ख़त्म की है, उसका नाम है मेमोरीज। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट है। विक्रम के साथ काफ़ी अरसे से काम करना चाह रहा था और फाइनली इट्स कम थ्रू। बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट है। आई डोंट वांट टू टॉक मच अबाउट इट राइट नाउ, बहुत ही जल्द एयर पे आएगा। इट्स अबाउट न्यूज़ चैनल एंकर आपकी तरह ही, लेकिन उसके पास एक गॉड गिफ्ट होता है। वो किसी भी डेड इंसान के नफ्स को पकड़ के उनकी लास्ट ज़िंदगी के आखिरी लम्हे जी सकता है, एंड दैट्स हाउ ही हेल्प्स द पुलिस सॉल्व अ लॉट ऑफ केसेस। तो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। मैं ऐसा शो काफ़ी टाइम से करना चाह रहा था और भगवान की कृपा है कि मैं कर रहा हूँ। मेरे लिए हर दिन खास रहता है, हर दिन कोई नया सीन करने को मिलता है, लेकिन एक बहुत ख़ास बात है, 2 ख़ास बात है कि मुझे सोहेल ततारी के साथ काम करने का मौका मिला, और एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत अदाकारा प्रियल गौर, जिनके बारे में बहुत सुना था मैंने कि बहुत ही टैलेंटेड है, बहुत खूबसूरत हैं, उनके साथ काम करने का मौका मिला। एंड आई होप दैट द पीपल विल लाइक आवर पेयरिंग एंड आवर केमिस्ट्री, बिकॉज आई वांट टू डू अ लॉट मोर वर्क विद हर। शी इज़ वन ऑफ द फ्यू पीपल आई वर्कड इन द रिसेंट पास्ट हु सो, वो बोलते हैं ना, ऑन द बॉल। शी वाज, मतलब एक बार सीन हम लोग रिहर्स करते थे एंड शी वाज रेडी। तो आई बिकम अ ह्यूज फैन ऑफ हर्स। उम्मीद करता हूँ कि ये जो मोमेंट्स हैं वी कैरी फॉरवर्ड टू मेमोरीज पार्ट 2 वेरी शॉर्टली। विक्रम, इफ यू आर लिसनिंग। यू नो, हिंदुस्तान में अनफॉर्चुनेटली कामासूत्र हिंदुस्तान की देन है दुनिया को, लेकिन हम लोग इसके बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं। हम लोग ही कतराते हैं कामा के बारे में बात करने से, काम के बारे में बात करने से, और लगता है कि नहीं, ये इसके बारे में बोलना नहीं चाहिए। क्यों? जब ये है जो एक सच्चाई भी है, जो एक रियलिटी है, जो एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो दुनिया में अगर नहीं होती तो दुनिया ही नहीं होती। ये जो कायनात है पूरी काम पे टिकी हुई है, और मैं खुश हूँ कि ये किताब इन्होंने लिखी है। मुझे लगता है कि बहुत 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 सराही जाएगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक
यू। ये मेरी डेब्यू नावल है। आई एम अ फर्स्ट टाइम राइटर, और ये फिक्शनल नावल है जो वात्स्यायन की ज़िंदगी पर मैंने बेस किया है। वात्स्यायन जिन्होंने कामासूत्र लिखा है, और कामासूत्र 2000 साल पहले लिखी गई थी, मगर जो आज बहुत ही सबसे ज़्यादा गूगल्ड वर्ड है, मगर वात्स्यायन के बारे में लोग नहीं जानते। ये नहीं जानते कि कौन थे वो, कहाँ पैदा हुए, उनका मोटिवेशन क्या था कामासूत्र लिखने का। तो ये सब सवाल जो मेरे मन में उठे जब मैंने काफ़ी इन पर रिसर्च किया, तो मुझे लगा कि किसी ने आज तक एक कहानी नहीं लिखी है एक ऐसे आदमी के ऊपर जिसने प्यार, मोहब्बत, सेक्स के बारे में लोगों को सिखाया है कि हाउ दे शुड लिव देयर लाइफ। तो यही सोच के एज अ राइटर मेरे लिए ये कैनवस बहुत बड़ा था। मैंने सोचा इनके कैरेक्टर के बारे में लिखूं और एक कहानी अचानक अपने आप से आने लगी एंड इट्स अ प्योरली फिक्शनल नॉवल. It's an entirely fictional novel, and इसमें that's what it's all about. एक तो लोगों को एक बहुत ही गलत फहमी है कि कामासूत्रा सिर्फ सेक्स के बारे में है. तो मैंने जो कोशिश की है इस किताब में कि मैं एक ऐसी कहानी का विवरण करूं जहाँ पे राजा है और बहुत ही एक बारबेरिक टाइप के टाइम है जिसमें इस कहानी को बेस किया है हमने. तो कैसे उस वैसे वक्त में वात्सायन ने रिसर्च किया, क्योंकि कामासूत्रा अगर आप लोग थोड़ा भी पढ़ेंगे इसके बारे में 7 किताबों का मिश्रण है. इट इज़ लाइक अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 7 बुक्स. तो कैसे उनको 7 किताबें मिली, कौन वो औरतें या कौन आदमी थे उनकी लाइफ में जिन्होंने उनको इन्फ्लुएंस किया. सो इट इज़ बेसिकली इट्स अ फिक्शनल स्टोरी. इट्स फॉर फन. देयर इज़ लव इन इट. देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ वॉर. There's something like lyrical violence in it. So it's a novel to enjoy. And there's a lot of erotica. करीब 5-6 साल पहले मैं पढ़ती थी कामासूत्रा और मैं देखती थी कि लोग किताब तो करीब 2000 साल पुरानी है और छवियाँ जो आती थी वो तो सिर्फ से अबाउट 1000 ईयर्स 800 साल या इवन 300 साल पुरानी आर्ट आते थे. तो मुझे लगा कि कहीं पे ना ये लॉस हो रहा है जो वात्सायन ने लिखा था उस बात का, क्योंकि ट्रांसलेशंस में लोग पिक्चर्स से ज़्यादा अफेक्टेड होते थे क्योंकि पोजीशंस का पिक्चर्स था उसमें. जो आदमी जो वो बताना चाह रहा था सेक्स, तो सिर्फ उसका एक पार्ट है कामासूत्रा का. वो आदमी क्या कहना चाह रहा था सूत्रा फॉर्मेशन में, तो कामा उसके बारे उसकी लाइफ के बारे में.
जैसे कि छोटे बच्चों के साथ काफ़ी सेक्स हो रहा है, काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं लोग, फिर आए दिन हमें पता चलता है कि आज 8 साल की बच्ची 7 साल की बच्ची के साथ सेक्स हो रहा है. तो क्या इसमें कुछ ऐसी स्पेसिफाई है जो लोग पढ़े?
घृणा होगी लोगों को, क्योंकि मैंने कैरेक्टर ऐसा क्रिएट किया है जो 14 साल की बच्ची से शादी करता है और लोगों को ऐसी चीज़ें पढ़ के मुझे लगता है ये बहुत ही अपने अंदर का जानवर जो है पहचानना चाहिए और ये बहुत ही घृणा वाली चीज़ है. इट्स अ वेरी हॉरेबल थिंग दैट्स हैपनिंग. तो फिक्शनल नॉवल है, उसमें मैंने कैरेक्टर ऐसा एक राजा का कैरेक्टर बनाया है, किंग नरसिम्हा गुप्त, जो काफ़ी बारबेरिक और इस टाइप के थे और उनका पूरा ख़ानदान किस तरीके का था. और वात्सायन जो है वो एक हिजड़े का बेटा है मेरी किताब में, जिसको उस हिजड़े रमन्ना ने अडॉप्ट किया है और कैसे वो उसको पाल पोस के गांव-गांव दौड़ के, बिकॉज उस समय ऐसे था कि अगर तुम हिजड़े के बेटे हो तो हम तुम्हें हिजड़ा बना देंगे. तो कैसे वो अपने बच्चे को बचाने के चक्कर में बनारस पहुंचती है और जहां वो बड़ा होता है एक कोर्टिजन्स पैलेस में, जो राजा की जितनी रखेले हैं उनके बीच में बड़ा होता है वो. तो ऑब्वियसली उसका एक्सपोजर औरतों की तरफ और सेक्स की तरफ बहुत पहले से होता है. पर मोर देन सेक्स जो फिलॉसफी है, जो प्यार और ज़िंदगी, मतलब देखिए बहुत उस समय के ज्ञानी लोग बाहर ट्रैवल करते थे, माउंट कैलाश पे बैठ के अपना पेनेंस करते थे, पर वात्सायन एक्चुअली ट्रैवल्ड विद इन हिमसेल्फ ढूंढने के लिए कि ज़िंदगी का असली मूल क्या है. तो इस किताब में फिलॉसफी भी है और फिक्शन भी है. थैंक यू.